Hey there, toy collector friends and Transformers fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. This is the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector. And this is a prime example of something you don't know you need until you see it. And even then, you don't really know whether or not you need it. And then once you've got it, you don't really know what to do with it. But anyway, here we are. As you know, on my channel, I try and showcase some of the new products, a lot of not so new products, sometimes some physical media, but essentially stuff that connects me to my childhood and to my imagination and that sense of nostalgia. And this is a really interesting set. It's the complete set of 6, and I'll tell you the story behind them. I found them whilst I was on a camping weekend in a seaside town in the UK, and we were visiting this main seaside town and going around some of the sort of collectible shops, and these were just hanging there, and I'd never seen them before. I'd never heard of them, and so obviously I had to immediately go and pick them up without any questions, hesitations, or discussions really. And you get 6. They're all sold separately. I don't know if there's an option to buy a block purchase of them. I have had a look, but it seems not, and I can't really find much by way of information about their background. So I'm kind of keen, folks, if you know anything about them, just to either drop a link, if you know where there's a link, drop a link in my comments below, or by all means just give me a bit of a narrative to tell me what on earth we're looking at here. But they are fun looking, and I kind of was in two minds what to do with them when I picked them up, and then I realized that the thing I need to do with them is, once we've had a look at them, is actually open them, because what they afford me with is a degree of really interesting scale, far smaller I think than the core class figures that we can get now, which I can use to display against base modes, city modes, base modes, things like that, at least for photographic purposes, to get a sense of scale. Now, don't get me wrong, these are not the most accurate or detailed of figures, so please bear that in mind. So we'll take a look at them. As you can see, they've got the price tag on. They literally came in, I'm going to zoom in so that I don't have to bring them too far out of the light, but they came in at £2 each. So I'll try and do them 2 at a time. So here we have Optimus Prime and Megatron, and it warns us about it being choking hazards because of small parts, but essentially it's one, from what I can see, it's just the one small part, which is the thing itself. It doesn't appear to have any points of articulation. I may be wrong, we shall find out, but I'm pretty sure, looking at it, that it doesn't. But they seem to scale quite well. There's a couple that makes me wonder whether they were scaling as well as I would like them to. But looking at Optimus Prime, so it's just a really cute little thing. And again, I was in two minds about opening it. You can see there we have the old Metroplex and Triptychon artwork. There we've got Ultra Magnus, G1 Ultra Magnus, I hasten to add, G1 Triptychon, G1 Metroplex, etc, etc. So that was very nice to see. But there's no suggestion that they actually do it. 6 to collect. Who's made these? Well, it's got Hasbro at the bottom there, but I'm assuming it's licensed from Hasbro, because it really doesn't look like. So imported and distributed by Grant and Bowman Limited, whoever they are, but made in China. So so I'm not technically any the wiser, to be honest. But we've got Optimus Prime, nice, stuck in there. We've got Megatron in a sort of pearlescent kind of mother of pearl scheme going on there. The light impacts on the nature of the sculpt, so we'll have a look at that in a second. And he's got his arm cannon, which is nice. Then we have Bumblebee sporting his nice big G1 feet. They're very, very G1. Again, they're all £2. And there's 6 to collect, because I thought there might be more in the range. All the backs are the same, so there's nothing you're missing. They're all the same. But yeah, Bumblebee looking very G1-y. Be interesting to see how he looks up against his Studio Series 86 counterpart. Starscream, because of course we'd have to have Starscream. They've all got rather curiously petrified fingers, or at least that's how it looks to me. So yeah, Starscream, cheapest Starscream I've ever bought. The back we have, of course, no collection would be complete without a Soundwave. Definitely doesn't come with any mini things. I'm not entirely sure about Soundwave's face, but we'll have a look at that in a second. But it gives the impression, and I suppose to an extent that's all we're after. And then the last one up is Grimlock, and interestingly Grimlock is the only one who appears in his alt mode as the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Again, very G1-y, very sort of, very sort of block colour, primary colour, kind of comic-esque or cartoon-esque. But again, yeah, G1, but as I say, in his Dinobot mode, in his alt mode as a T-Rex. Again, everyone's got the same backing. So yeah, I don't know if you have any history of these, or you know anything about these, or when they came out, or why they came out, or are they just like an oddity that was released? Great if they are. I'm here for that. So please let me know in the comments, and whilst you're doing that, if you could drop a little like, that would be fantastic. And if you could also do a drop of subs to the channel, that would be fantastic as well. And that way you'll never miss another video, whether it's about tiny Dinobots, or full-size Dinobots, or Doctor Who, or Star Trek, or Battlestar Galactica, or G.I. Joe, or Star Wars, or Space 1999, or goodness knows what. Have a little look around the channel. You might see something you like if you're new here. And if you're not new here, well, thank you very much, especially if you've already subscribed. Anyway, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get these out of the packs, trying to do as little damage as possible. And yeah, I'll see what they look like in real life. And there we have it. I will say they were actually really easy to because what I wanted to do was not tear the plastic bubble off and rip the backing card to shreds. So I used a craft knife around the edges, so it was easy to just rescue them from it, just in case I want to store them back in here for the purposes of cleanliness and, well, safety really, and stick an elastic band around them. But they are quite fun. I have to say they're quite fun to handle. I was correct. There's no points of articulation. And I'm not as worried about Starscream's face as perhaps I was, not Starscream's face, sorry, about Soundwave's face, as much as I was. I think it was just the way the light was catching the plastic. So let's just take another quick look at them, because again, I'll zoom in. So here we have Starscream with his null rays and his splayed fingers. Oh. They've obviously, as you might expect, they're extremely lightweight. But I would say what is quite good is that is the detailing on them. So there's the Decepticon logos, etc., on his wings. And considering they're £2 and they're sort of a plasticky rubber, there's a little bit of give and bend in them. That was Starscream. Let's do the Decepticons first. This was my worry, which was Soundwave, but you can't really see because of just the way the light falls. Let me try and do it that way. Yeah, you can. If I go weird like that, you can see he has got red eyes. So again, as I say, the detailing there is really interesting. It's a little bit of a blemish on his chest there, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. And it's enhanced by being this close. So you can see again, this pearlescence is quite nice on it, on the figures. It's got his shoulder cannon there. The back is again very well detailed, you know, considering what you're looking at for £2. I mean, equally, I don't think I'd pay much more than £2, because you're not getting a huge amount. Megatron, again, lovely detailing. The waist section there, the red around his elbows, the eyes are red. You've got that section on the back. They're clearly a bit of a love letter to G1, But they're dinky, tiny little things. Dinky in the adjective sense, not dinky in the toy sense. Here we have Bumblebee, as I say, very G1. Little G1 face. Well, G1 cartoon face as opposed to G1 robot face. Again, with the splayed fingers. They looks like they're all getting some kind of shock through the system. Big G1 feet with the moulded in wheels, but there's no additional paint there, so it's just a yellow suggestion of a wheel within there. And again, the back has got the spare tyre motif there. Forgive me if you can hear strange noises going on outside. There's a lot of motorcycles going around at the moment. It's that kind of day and weather, and they're loving the roads, so happy them. Happy Grimlock, look at that. Ooh. Yeah, again, Grimlock in an action pose, massive Autobot symbol. As I say, it's very, the block colours are very G1. Just, yeah, I didn't think so. Just going to give his head a check there. But I you know, for £2, I think they're really quite fun. And then last but not least, of course, our beloved Lee Dotcher's Prime. His feet are a bit dodgy. Look at that. Can you see that? His feet are not exactly ideal, and his hands is experiencing the same level of shock as everybody else. It probably would have been nice if there'd been some yellow paint going for the G1 cartoon accuracy there, but I'm not that fussed, to be honest. It sounds like I am. I'm not really. Can we see what colour his eyes are? Because I didn't check. Bluish, really, although they look quite silver here. Yeah, so we've got unfortunately, this is perhaps the least effective detailing of all of them, because, you know, the pipes on his shoulders really should be silver, and they have used silver, so there's no excuse for them not using it there. But again, this is me now getting very picky about a £2 figure, and I can be super forgiving about a £50 hand-painted starship, so I need to get my priorities straight. Let me zoom back out again so we can just get them all in shot. So yeah, a curious range of mini-bots. I know I did a video recently about the Autobot mini-bots and their resurgence through the Generations lines, War for Cybertron and Legacy and Studio Series 86 particularly. But these are even more mini than the mini-bots. I'm just trying to see if I've got a mini-bot to hand. Of course, when you want one, there's never one to be found. But these are literally tiny. So I'll just put my little finger in there. So that's my little finger. And they're smaller than my little finger. From a scale point of view, they're smaller than my little finger. But it'd be interesting to see what they look like against the backdrop of something like the Generations Metroplex. I think the G1 Metroplex would probably be not the best in terms of getting a real good scaling. But I might do, as my closer for this video, I might do some photography. I might get my Generations Metroplex all set up in city mode and dot them around and see how they look, see how they fare. So what do you think of these guys? I think they're really cute. I don't know what I would do with them apart from use them to sort of support some photography, other than have them around looking cute and dumb, because they are kind of cute and dumb. If you know anything about them, as I said before, if you know anything about their history, their lineage, where they came from, what the idea was behind them, was there meant to be another wave that never happened because these didn't take off, or what's the story? Do let me know. Drop me a message in the comments below, just because I'm really fascinated. I'd love to know about these mini bots. Yeah, great. Thank you for joining me for the last 10 minutes or so. You've been a lovely audience as ever. I've been the Triple TC, that's the time traveling toy collector, and this has been the somewhat bizarre range of 6 minifigures from the Transformers, seemingly from Hasbro. Thank you for joining me with them. They are bizarrely cute, and stick around if you want to see some attempted photography, toy photography with them at the end. it just remains for me to say thank you again for being here, and please remember that things of beauty really are a joy and a toy forever. Bye-bye for now.